Long ago, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by green hills and shining rivers, a king and queen lived in a magnificent castle with their 4 daughters. The kingdom was famous for its kindness, colorful markets, and beautiful gardens. Among the 4 sisters, the third princess had the softest heart and the most curious mind. The eldest sister was wise and calm, always helping the king with royal matters and decisions. The second sister loved music and spent most of her time singing and playing instruments in the palace halls. The youngest sister was playful and full of laughter, bringing joy to everyone around her. The third princess was different from her sisters in many ways. She loved quiet places and spent hours looking outside the castle windows. The lights from the village at night always made her wonder about the lives of ordinary people. While the other sisters enjoyed royal lessons and grand celebrations, the third princess dreamed about the world beyond the palace gates. She imagined walking through busy streets and talking to people who lived simple lives. Her heart longed for adventure and freedom. Every evening she would climb the tallest tower in the castle. From there she could see the entire kingdom stretching far into the distance. The sight always filled her heart with curiosity. One spring, the kingdom held its grand annual festival. People from villages and distant lands gathered near the palace to celebrate with music, food, and dancing. For the first time, the princess secretly walked among the crowds. The market was full of colors and laughter. Merchants were selling toys, fruits, and handmade clothes. The princess had never seen so many ordinary people smiling and enjoying life. While walking through the busy stalls, she noticed a young boy standing beside a table filled with wooden toys. His clothes were simple and worn, but his eyes were bright and clever. There was something mysterious about him. When he saw the princess looking at him, he smiled confidently. He spoke to her, as if she were just another girl in the crowd. The princess was surprised but also amused. The boy told her stories about traveling across mountains and visiting faraway cities. He spoke about freedom and adventure outside the kingdom. Every word he said made her imagination grow. The princess felt fascinated by his stories. She had never met someone who spoke so freely about the world. Soon she began returning to the market just to talk with him again. During the festival days, they met again and again. They shared stories, laughter, and dreams. The princess felt happier during those moments than she ever had inside the palace. Soon their meetings became secret. After sunset, the princess would quietly leave the castle gardens and walk toward the village square. The quiet night meetings felt exciting and magical. The boy often spoke about how the palace was like a cage. He said life should be filled with adventure and discovery. His words slowly began to influence the princess. The princess started imagining a life beyond the kingdom. She dreamed of traveling to distant lands and seeing oceans and forests. Those dreams always included the mysterious boy. Meanwhile, her sisters began to notice something unusual. The princess seemed distracted and thoughtful most of the time. She often disappeared for hours without explanation. One evening, the eldest sister gently asked what was troubling her. The princess smiled and said nothing was wrong. But inside her heart, she was thinking about the boy. Weeks passed, and their secret friendship slowly turned into love. The princess believed she had finally found someone who understood her dreams. She trusted him completely. The boy continued telling exciting stories about traveling together. He promised that they could leave the kingdom and explore the world. The princess believed every word. But unknown to her, the boy was hiding a dangerous secret. He was not truly a traveler. In reality, he was a clever thief who had come searching for treasure. One night while walking through the palace gardens, he noticed the expensive jewels the princess was wearing. The shining gems caught his attention immediately. A greedy idea slowly formed in his mind. After that night, he began asking questions about the palace. He wanted to know about secret doors, guards, and treasure rooms. The princess answered innocently because she trusted him. Days later, the boy suggested a daring plan. He said that if they wanted to travel the world, they would need money for their journey. He convinced the princess that taking a few jewels would help them start their new life. The princess felt nervous about the idea. She knew that stealing from her own family was wrong. But her love and trust made it difficult to refuse. Slowly, she allowed herself to believe that everything would be fine. She told herself it was only a small step toward freedom. Love had clouded her judgment. Late one quiet night, the princess entered the royal treasury. The room was filled with sparkling jewels and golden crowns. Her heart beat loudly as she placed a few precious stones into a small bag. Outside the palace walls, the boy waited in the darkness. When he saw the jewels, his eyes filled with excitement. He praised the princess and promised their journey would begin soon. After that night, he began asking questions about the palace. He wanted to know about secret doors, guards, and treasure rooms. The princess answered innocently because she trusted him. Days later, the boy suggested a daring plan. He said that if they wanted to travel the world, they would need money for their journey. He convinced the princess that taking a few jewels would help them start their new life. The princess felt nervous about the idea. She knew that stealing from her own family was wrong. But her love and trust made it difficult to refuse. Slowly, she allowed herself to believe that everything would be fine. She told herself it was only a small step toward freedom. Love had clouded her judgment. Late one quiet night, the princess entered the royal treasury. The room was filled with sparkling jewels and golden crowns. Her heart beat loudly as she placed a few precious stones into a small bag. Outside the palace walls, the boy waited in the darkness. When he saw the jewels, his eyes filled with excitement. He praised the princess and promised their journey would begin soon. The sisters, however, did not blame her. They hugged her tightly and reminded her that mistakes are part of growing. Their kindness helped her face the painful moment. Soldiers were sent across the land to find the thief. But he had already escaped far beyond the kingdom. The jewels were gone forever. For many months the princess remained quiet and thoughtful. She spent her days helping the people of the kingdom. She wanted to become wiser and stronger. The painful experience slowly changed her heart. She learned that true love should never ask someone to betray their values. Real love is built on honesty and trust. Years later, the princess became known for her wisdom and kindness. She worked hard to help the poor and protect the kingdom. People admired her greatly. Although she never forgot the mistake she once made, she used it as a lesson. The memory reminded her to always choose honesty and wisdom. Her three sisters remained her closest friends and supporters. Together they helped the kingdom grow stronger and happier. Their bond became an example for everyone. The story of the princess who loved the wrong boy was told for many generations. It reminded people that even the kindest hearts can be fooled. But true strength comes from learning and becoming better. And so the princess, who once made a painful mistake, grew into a wise and beloved queen. Her story became a lesson about trust, love, and the courage to learn from the past. Crown Open Book.